Okay, we are live talking about Celebrity Big Brother. Ben, first thoughts right off the top.
This season is amazing. It
Is
is definitely way better just in 3 episodes
mm,
and 2.5 nights of live feeds. Better than Big Brother 19, and I would say that it's like getting close to being better than even Big Brother 18 before that.
wow.
Uh,
These are some big claims. Well, not
yeah,
19, but 18 wasn't that bad.
yeah, no, it wasn't that bad, but I think that there were definitely aspects of 18 that I wasn't that big of a fan of, but it was definitely one of the better recent seasons. I
Right.
think that this has a ton of potential. It has surpassed all of my expectations
Yeah,
so
I
far. So far,
honestly I was very excited for Celebrity Big Brother just because I like Big Brother quite a bit, but I was a little worried that they wouldn't really come to play that hard. But I think my worries are alleviated. They came to play really hard.
yeah. Even the player who is actively trying to get himself eliminated from the game, Meta World Peace, is playing harder than half of the Big Brother 19 cast.
That is true. He's also gone around hanging out with Orville, or is it Orville? Yeah,
Orwell.
Orwell, or
Yeah,
like George. Oh, okay, like
yeah,
George Orwell.
yeah.
Get it, guys? Get it?
It's 1984.
Yeah.
That's where Big Brother comes from, guys. So that's the reference.
That's why they pay the production for Celebrity Big Brother the big bucks.
Yeah, they
Like,
come up with little things like that.
they're like, what if we add an owl and we call it Orwell?
Yeah, and
And they're like,
he's a night owl for
yes.
Big Brother After Dark. Get it?
Oh my
Because the
god!
owl stays up at night.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah,
Give this man a promotion.
yeah.
All right, so you want to take the lead real quick as I pump out the social media links, just kind of give like your initial thoughts, what's happening, and where you think it's gonna go from here.
Yeah, sure. So we have our 11 celebrities who entered the house about a week and a half ago, and we had our first episode on Wednesday. We were introduced to all of them. We were kind of given the cast a little bit beforehand at the Grammys Awards, and uh, most of the people on the lists when I had initially seen them, I did not know who they were. I knew who Omarosa was, obviously. I had heard of Chuck Liddell, and I knew who Meta World Peace was.
Hmm.
I was like vaguely aware of who Shannon Elizabeth was, and I think that was it. I think I did not. I knew like once I had heard, that Ariana Gutierrez was the Miss Columbia who'd gotten her crown taken away. I knew who she was, and like I watched Big Time Rush when I was 12 years old or whatever.
Right.
So I am I'm familiar with the concept of James Maslow existing.
um,
That's pretty much it. How about you?
yeah, so definitely a big fan of Chuck Liddell. So disappointing night.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario for Chuck Liddell.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Matter World Peace, obviously big basketball fan. I was never like a huge fan of him, other than him being a little bit like off the walls and
Unhinged.
changing his name to Meta World Peace. That was interesting. Obviously, most well known for the Malice in the Palace. Um,
Yep.
yeah, the Adriana. Oh my god,
Ariadna.
Ariadna. Okay. Like you said, didn't know who she was until someone was like, okay, it's this person. It's like, okay, I remember that moment.
Right.
I don't remember her. Um,
Yeah, it was like it was Steve Harvey's moment, really.
yeah, exactly. And who else? I get James Maslow, My sister was a huge Big Time Rush fan. She was incredibly excited for him to be on here. And obviously, like we heard before the episode aired, that he might be in trouble. So I was like, ooh, just enjoy it while he's here.
Yeah, keep your expectations low.
Yeah. But hey, I was wrong.
Yeah, and Ian Terry thinks he's going to win the game.
I know, that was surprising, right?
Not actually, really.
Well, I never considered it, and then Ian said it, and I was like, oh, true, yeah.
Yep.
Like, if Ian says it, I believe it.
I mean, Big Brother Canada 5, Demetrius almost was voted out first, and he ended up coming in a very close third place
Right.
and being like a huge figure in the season. So it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility that James goes deep into this game.
Right. X in the chat says BB is trash, so good support. Thank you.
I mean,
yes, but it's our trash.
Yes, yeah, right. It's the trash that I dig through at night, hoping to find something tasty to eat.
Right, exactly. And a lot of times there are. Last season, it was just a lot of trash.
Yeah. Last season was very trash, yeah.
And they brought Paul back for this season for an episode.
Yeah, to do a dance number.
Yeah, but it's okay because Rachel was there and I love Rachel. So.
Yeah, Rachel was there, Jody was there,
And
Jody
Jody.
was there. Yeah.
I love how they brought Jody back just to make
just
a
for the
joke.
That's great.
X says, "I need more White House scandal in my BB." Yeah, that was crazy.
We'll get to that.
So I guess let's take it from the top. Shannon Elizabeth in American Pie, in Scary Movie 2, I believe. Who knows? She was in a Scary Movie.
She was in the one with the Scream one. I can't remember which one that was.
Yeah, me either. Doesn't really matter.
Was that the one where Charlie Sheen has the huge boner?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was the Jigsaw one.
Okay. Yeah, they all merge together.
Yeah, they really do. She wins HOH, narrowly beating out James. Which, great moment. James tries to cut a deal and Omarosa shuts it down.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
It was like, yes. I'm so glad she's here. She wins, but then there's a dumb twist. Oh, there's actually another dumb twist.
Oh yeah, the initial dumb twist.
It was save Omarosa.
Yep, the save Omarosa twist.
They had the BB players line up on stars numbered 1 to 11, and they randomly picked a number, and whoever had that number was safe, and it happened to be Omarosa.
Yeah.
Who knew?
What are the odds?
What are the odds?
That the literal face of the entire advertising campaign going into this season is the person that ends up being safe for the first week.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think between the last 2 seasons, if production likes you, you might get a twist to keep you safe.
How dare you, Brian?
You're right. Crazy talk.
Yeah. Big Brother is 100% above board. There's no production favoritism or rigging.
Yeah, and well, honestly, even though it is a little bit maybe there is some rigging, I can deal with it. I'm not the one playing.
Yeah, I mean, it was if it was rigging, it was rigging that didn't matter because Omarosa was in zero trouble.
Yeah, and
for the first week, she's in a lot of trouble now.
she's in a lot of trouble now, and also Helen was pushed. So.
Yeah. Hashtag Helen was pushed.
Never forget. Because we won't.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just went to our Twitch stream and there's immediately commercial for the new Cloverfield movie. So that's good.
They're pushing that hard.
Yeah. No favoritism at all. Is BB a drama-free show? No. It is the most drama.
Yeah, the entire purpose of the show is to manufacture drama.
Yeah. So, speaking of dumb twists that manufacture drama, they bring out these 11 bags. Each player has a potential to have a power in the bag, but they have to go into the diary room when they're prompted to by the monitor. And if they go in, then they get, instead of getting it, they get an opportunity to get this recast twist where they can dethrone the HOH. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You want, if I'm explaining this,
No, that was good. I mean, it was very poorly explained in the show, so like I don't think you can do a worse job of explaining it.
Right. Well, we'll try. But and so Chuck went in, much to the chagrin of Shannon, obviously.
Well, first of all, you have to like set up the fact that, you know, Shannon went around and told all of the guys do not go in, and basically was like trying to strong arm everyone to not using the bag.
Yeah, she was like, yo, I'm totally not gonna put you guys up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Meta wants to go home. We're just gonna put up Meta. He's gonna go home. It's gonna be a nice, easy, clean week. You don't want to stir the pot. Don't do the bag thing. What are you doing?
Yeah, and then Chuck immediately does the bag thing.
Yeah.
Which is fun, because he was gonna go up anyways.
Yeah.
And he even said it in the episode. It was like, honestly, like, I knew I was gonna go up, so I was just gonna go for it. But
but none of the other guys do. They all keep their word.
So that causes the girls, after he goes in, the girls plus Ross, to be like, oh shit, now we need to go in. So then it becomes a random draw on who gets to open it.
Mm-hmm.
And Keisha wins.
Yep,
Random draw. She wins the opportunity to open the bag. And then she opens it, and it has the recast twist. So, did everyone have the recast twist?
They made it sound like not everyone did. I feel like at least most of them probably did, if not all of them. Because I mean, like you know, production has plausible deniability, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of similar to the round trip twist from BB-18. But I mean, like that twist, like we found out afterwards that Paul had it, so like it wasn't. Like all of the like tinfoil hat things about it being rigged or whatever was kind of like semi disproved. Mm-hmm. For this, like you could say like, oh, everyone would just have one and they wanted to do a random draw for HOH and create drama.
Yeah, yeah, and especially with the round trip twist, if they were gonna rig that, Frank would have come back immediately.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah. The fact that Frank didn't, when he's the first person voted off with it. It was like, okay, it's not rigged. This is actually a real twist.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Right. No, I get you. And, so Keisha uses the recast twist. She takes over HOH. She presumably keeps the nominations what they were going to be, James and Chuck. And now James and Chuck are on the block.
Yep. With James as the target.
Yes. And they're targeting James because, one, he's the youngest person, or the youngest male in the house. He's physically fit. He really did well in that first challenge. Other than that, they also just don't like him.
Yeah, he's very abrasive. He's very cocky. Mm-hmm. He has he doesn't like know when to keep his mouth shut, and he's like very much he's in his own reality, and this is like a common thread that like almost makes it so he doesn't get saved here at this first eviction, where Shannon and a couple other people are like really trying hard to save him, but James is just very bad at like not being just awful.
Right. He really is. I think that if I ever went on Big Brother, this is what would happen to me. They're like, Brian could get saved, but he messes it up for himself. Yeah. Thinking he's playing the game well. But it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Puppet Master.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of reminds me a little bit of Jace.
Yeah.
Call him, where it was like, he didn't necessarily do anything egregiously wrong, but he did a bunch of like little stuff that added up to just being like, yeah, we gotta get rid of him.
BB-17 Jace.
Yes. I should be specific. Long blonde hair, first boot.
Right.
BB-17 kind of bullied Steve to try to make him vote to keep him.
Yeah,
It's really
didn't work.
uncomfortable.
He was friends with Austin.
Yes. Anyway, so we have the veto competition, and Shannon fucking kills it. Holy shit.
Yeah, she breaks the record for that competition.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
She spells out responsibilities. It was plural, right? Like, how did she even get that many letters?
Yeah, I have no idea.
She must have been so fast. And
she got more than double the second place.
yeah. And so she wins the power veto, keeping herself safe. And also...
Well, she was already safe.
Right. Well, was she safe when she was dethroned?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
when she was dethroned, that was part of it. She was immune.
Gotcha. I missed that part. My bad. So
Didn't matter.
But she secures that her alliance will be able to dictate how the... I want to say week, but how the eviction will go.
Right.
And James gets 0 because he doesn't spell a word correctly. And oh my god, Ariadna. She also gets 0. Having such trouble pronouncing her name. And so they have to dress up like babies and crawl around. And it was probably the funniest part of the episode is when they're like doing the double confessional, double diary room.
Yep.
James is like,
each other.
yeah, James is like, can a baby have a show badge? And she's just like, no. That cracked me up.
Yeah.
Poor James.
Oh man, I just can't feel bad for James. So that's hard.
But so Ross gets upset because when he's hanging out with the girls, they kind of openly just talk about how they want a girl to win and how it's girls to the end.
Yeah, mostly like, Omarosa.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm literally right here. And they're like, yeah, we don't care, Ross. Too bad for you. And so that kind of gets the gears in his head working, and he goes to Shannon, tries to get her to play the veto. Or no, goes to Shannon, tries to get her to not play the veto. Because honestly, this is some sound strategy. They have Chuck and they have James on the block. Omarosa and Keisha want her to take Chuck off the block, and then they will put up Mark in his place. But this seems just like really like 5D chess unnecessarily.
Yeah, it's totally unnecessary. It's like the only thing that accomplishes is it pisses off Mark.
Yeah, and so Ross is like, maybe not. Maybe we don't do this.
Yeah.
And Shannon,
yeah, like
go on.
No, Shannon made the correct decision, but like she made it in a way that like caused a lot of people to be upset with her because they wanted her to make the wrong decision.
Right. Which is they're upset with her, kind of. She doesn't use the veto, and it kind of starts a chain reaction that is helped by Brandy and Omarosa getting into a big fight. And now all of a sudden the house is flipped. It was going to be James, and now it's Chuck.
I mean, that's a massive oversimplification, and the show.
That's the TV version.
Yeah, the show made it look like the decision to flip the vote was made in like 10-15 minutes.
Yes.
In reality,
so can you break us down like the real version?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The I don't actually think the decision was 100% made until the vote happened. Okay. There was a sign that that Ross did at the live eviction where he held up 2 fingers, and what they decided, it was like 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. 1 was they were going to vote out James, and 2 was they were going to vote out Chuck. So I legitimately think that the plan was not 100% decided until the eviction.
But do you think that was a little bit because Ross wanted to be a little bit extra? Like, let's decide at the vote.
I think it was mostly that people were incredibly indecisive.
Gotcha. Because honestly, that'd be me. Like, ooh, let's be even more dramatic and decide last second.
I mean, I'm very happy they did that because like I was relatively sure that Chuck was going home, but like I still not 100% sure.
Honestly, I was so conditioned by BB19 to just be disappointed that I was like, obviously James is gonna go home.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh shit. Oh my god, they actually pulled a move.
Right before the feeds went off today, they the direction was like 90 to 95% they were going to keep James. So but yeah, so this started like last night, and then it took them maybe 16 to 20 hours to actually make a decision. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so this came up, the way this started basically was they kind of showed how it started in the show correctly, which was that Shannon had a conversation with Omarosa that kind of set her off, and then people started noticing that Omarosa and Keisha were getting very close, and that they were both getting very close to Chuck, and basically trying to set themselves up for the next week so that if Chuck won the HOH, that he wouldn't go after them.
Right.
And that pissed off Shannon a lot. And so Shannon decided to take things into her own hands and try to flip the vote and get rid of Chuck and make a deal with James. And basically do what they did with Chuck, but the opposite with James, and leave Omarosa and Keisha out to dry.
And so they did.
Well, I mean, this was just Shannon. And then Shannon had to pitch it.
Sorry.
Then Shannon had to pitch it to everyone else. Everyone else being Ross, Brandy, Ari, and Marissa.
Yeah.
And none of them were really on board at all. Ari was like sort of okay with the idea, but Ross was not on board at the start, despite what the TV show would lead you to believe. And Marissa was very, very, very not on board. Marissa had a lot of convincing that had to be done. So all of last night, basically, Shannon bounced in between talking to James, like having an hour-long conversation with James to solidify things, where James made it incredibly difficult for her to like get anything done. and did everything in his power to make her like question whether this was a good decision or not.
The only thing I can hope is that James after this is like, man, I'm so good at Big Brother.
No, he did that. As soon as Shannon left the room, he was like, well, this is quite the twist. A twist that I've been working on for days.
Oh my god, yes.
I'm surprised they didn't show that. Maybe they'll show in like the Sunday show as like a recap. Because oh my god, James was just like was so obnoxious, thinking that he was like the mastermind behind this flip, when in reality it was more about Chuck and Chuck's relationship with the girls, and they're basically using James, right? Really, because he's good at comps and he has nowhere to turn.
James is a strong boy. So that's why they want to keep him.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing else about him.
He's strong. He's backed into a corner, and he's angry at Keisha. And those are the three things they're looking for. He checks their boxes.
Oh my God.
He did nothing.
I cannot wait until he's so cocky this week about how he managed to save himself.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Now that, so basically, there was a 7 versus a 3, right? Where the 3 was Mark. It was going to be Mark, Chuck, and Meta. And then now there's a 7 versus a 3, where the 3 is Omarosa, Keisha, and Meta.
Yeah.
And within that 7, there are like several groups of like 4 that could like maneuver, and I think James is in all of them.
So James actually best player confirmed.
I mean, it's looking right now like James might be locked for like the final 5.
Let it be known, on the 9th of February, both Ian and Ben calling the shot for James, winner of Celebrity Big Brother.
I actually agree with Derek and Nicole. I think Marissa's the best spot. But I think that James is definitely in like the 2nd or 3rd best spot. I think it's probably Marissa, Ross, James.
Here's the thing. James is going to get to the final 5 and comp out.
Yeah. And then sit at the end with Brandy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And then
that's the plan.
he'll
The
win
plan right now is for
25G, and then he'll probably, honestly, be a big part of the Big Brother community.
yeah.
Because he probably doesn't have like any more legitimate fame.
He has the most Twitter followers out of anyone in the cast.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And honestly, there's probably a lot of overlap between his fan base and potential people to get really invested in Big Brother. So
you would think, but the going into the first night of the feeds, if we're gonna get into some like online drama,
yes, please,
some Twitter drama, there was some major like beef between the James Maslow fangirls and the Big Brother fan base, where basically like everyone, like a bunch of Big Brother fans, or like most Big Brother fans, you know, don't like James, or didn't like James from the beginning at least, and they saw him as like this cocky douchebag because he is a cocky douchebag, and
because he is kind of,
and they were like, man, this guy is so bad at the game, he's gonna get himself voted out first, because he was gonna get himself voted out first until like 12 hours ago. And the James Maslow fans were like saying that the Big Brother fans were like bully haters who are like just who didn't like understand James, and like there's a lot of drama.
Oh my god! So what you're saying is this is OTT all over again?
I mean, I think
maybe this
most
is
of
the cure, though. Maybe this is the it reunites the BB fan base against an outside enemy. James Maslow's followers.
I would have said that, but now there's something going on. there's drama after this going on this twist, this flip going on online now, that Marissa kind of saw coming when she was campaigning against them flipping the vote, where she was saying that them restructuring the house so the people on the outs were the three black house guests. It's probably pretty bad optics.
Ooh.
And it turns out she was correct.
Ooh. Okay, that is bad.
Yeah, that wasn't shown in the show.
No. Obviously.
But yes, so now the minority alliance is Omarosa, Keisha, and Meta World Peace.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully someone flips the house back this week.
I mean,
we're gonna be calling some people into the diary room real quick. Hey, you need to not vote for any of these three people.
I mean, you know what? The plan, like the 7 on Wednesday night, seemed very solid. This 7 seems very solid. 2 days go by. You never know what's going to happen.
When's our next eviction? Sunday?
Monday, I believe.
Monday, okay. Oh boy, this is fast. It's a lot of episodes.
I think Sunday is the HOH comp and the nominations, and then Monday is the veto and the eviction.
Gotcha. We should probably go live Monday if we have time too.
Yeah.
Just every eviction, just at least like 15-20 minutes a session, if not longer.
Right.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad, Ben.
Yeah, it's very bad. I mean, obviously, like the reasons that they restructured the house that way were not because of race, but it still looks bad. Like the reasons were because, well, I mean, here's the thing. Keisha, like as they showed on the show, Keisha and Omarosa did become close because they were bonding over the fact that they were like, you know, strong, opinionated black women, and so like that did play a role in them getting close and forming an alliance and forming the side deal, which is what isolated them from the girls' alliance.
Right.
But Meta World Peace being isolated is because he has like no interest in playing or winning the game, and he's a loose cannon who supposedly voted for the wrong person in the diary room, according to him. Does he just
not understand how it works?
Yeah, he's never seen an episode of Big Brother before.
Right. That's good. No one should explain it to him.
Well, I mean, he knows now. He knows now that you're for the person you want to be evicted. But if he's telling the truth and this isn't an act, he intended to vote for Chuck to stay.
Right.
And it makes sense because Julie never actually said a word to him. He came in, the mic was muted, he gave like this whole speech that we only heard like the last 20% of,
Yeah,
and then he said, "I voted."
Valentine.
Yeah, he was reading a Valentine for his kid, and then or for his wife maybe. I don't know. I think it was for his wife actually. Every time he does it in the feeds, I switch feeds because it's the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like he's a cool guy, but I mean he can only take so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so he says, "I vote Chuck," and then he walks out and leaves before he can like even be acknowledged by Julie.
There's a little thank you. He like gets up.
Oh,
Julie
man.
was not prepared.
Yeah,
I wasn't prepared either. In fairness.
yeah, I totally lost it at that moment. Like as soon as he was like, you could see him trying to talk in the background with the mic muted. Oh boy, that was great. So yeah, so that's why Meta World Peace is being isolated.
Right. Maybe we just bring Meta World Peace into the alliance at least.
Well, if you want to get into some stuff that's happened since the episode is ended.
Yeah, well, X wants to add that he voted for Chuck actually, so it was actually 8-1
Oh wow.
with the X's.
Well, I guess Julie didn't count X's vote.
No.
She was too flabbergasted.
So yeah, let's get into it. I think we've talked mostly about what happened and how everyone is really racist in the Big Brother house. Unfortunate, but here we are.
Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of like saving face right now. There's a lot of damage control going on. The main thing that's happened is Meta like promised that he was going to try and fight for HOH and that he would put up Shannon and James, and he promised that to Omarosa and Keisha.
Okay.
And then he went and had a conversation with Ross where he told Ross the same thing, and so now everyone knows.
He's a really good player.
Yeah, Ross came in planning on playing the Andy Heron game, and he's playing it very well so far. I'm very impressed.
He is. Also underreported. They did invite Andy to this winter round table.
Yeah, or Steve.
Or Steve.
I don't know. I mean, he could have said no, but
They probably invited Steve.
yeah.
They just did not invite Andy, according to his Twitter.
Yeah. I think Andy would have said yes. Yeah.
It's well known that Andy is my favorite Big Brother winner. So
yeah, Andy's great. Very underrated.
Yes. This is the official YouTube show of Andy Heron. In case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, he's incredibly skilled. Like he gets so much flack for like being a rat or whatever, and it's just, like it's part of the game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he honestly just sidetrack. If like I ever went into the Big Brother house, I would want to play a game exactly like him. I don't care what people think about it. I just care about bringing home that money at the end.
I would actively want people to make to be upset at me. So
right.
I want to make as many fans as possible. But that's
yes,
why I am though.
Back to Meta wanting to actually win HOH.
Yeah. So Ross sat him down and basically tried to like get into his head that if what he wants is to leave the game as soon as possible, him working with Omarosa and Keisha is like counteractive to like that goal, because they're just going to drag him along as long as possible because they need the vote.
Yeah.
But what he pitched is if Meta doesn't win the HOH and they get Keisha or Omarosa out, whichever one they can, they will promise Meta World Peace that they will evict him the next eviction.
Okay. Wow. I really hope that doesn't happen because that sounds super boring.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like no chance this is going to happen.
I mean, Omarosa is probably going to win HOH.
The HOH is going to be a weird thing where the producers actually pick the HOH, and it's going to be Omarosa. So,
yeah.
I mean, they honestly cannot have this controversy go on, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a somewhat fishy HOH coming up.
Oh, yeah, and Omarosa's their cash cow. They can't have Omarosa go outside.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, they're going to So there's like a greater than 50% chance Omarosa wins HOH.
It's like Paul winning the HOH,
Right?
the
Yeah,
second HOH last season. I was like,
yeah. So
okay,
that's
of course this happened.
Well, that's the pitch. And he also got Meta to promise him that if Ross goes through with this and helps get Meta out as soon as possible, that Meta will give Ross his jury vote if Ross makes it to the end. And Meta has said absolutely.
Okay, I dig that. I'm not 100% clear. Do they know the jury has started, or was Chuck the first one to find out the jury has started?
I think they know. They at least are acting like they know. I don't know if they know for sure or they're just like really confident in their speculation.
Right.
But they're talking like they know that there's a jury. They know that the jury isn't sequestered. I don't know if they know 100% that the jury has started, but I assume that they're assuming that everyone's going to be on the jury, which is what I believe is the case.
Right. Yeah, it definitely is if Chuck's on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like...
X says that he's kind of a big deal, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, his voice gets missed. Or his vote, sorry.
Oh, well... That's what Meta thought happened. Meta thought that the production intentionally switched his vote on him.
No, you literally all you did was say Chuck and leave.
He was like, they can't do that. I said I voted Chuck. I didn't say I voted Chuck out. He can't change that on me.
I can't.
And Keisha's like, oh, sweetie, no.
I cannot. I can't. Honestly, great PR for Chuck, though. Not that anybody was ever accusing him of being racist, but...
Yeah. He gets to escape before the evil White Alliance.
Yeah, and he's the only person who is friends with the 3 people in the bottom of the food chain now, so he's looking great. He's honestly, he came out on top tonight, even though he was voted off.
I mean... That's kind of how Big Brother is, right? The earlier you go out, the better your PR is.
Yes.
you don't have time to ruin your image.
Yeah. Case in point, Jason.
Yeah. Or Jess and Cody.
Yes. I don't have a camera to look into, but if I was looking into this now, Big Brother contestants, celebrity Big Brother contestants, do not fucking ruin this for me. Do not vote Omarosa out. I swear to God.
Like, at least if we do this, if this plan happens, Omarosa doesn't win HOH, Meta doesn't win HOH, at least get rid of Keisha. Get rid of Keisha, they get rid of Meta, and then Omarosa can stick around and something crazy can happen.
Please.
Like that's at least the best case of the worst case.
Of the worst case, right? Yeah. The best worst case.
Right.
The least unfavorable outcome would be that. The best would be Omarosa winning, so we're pulling for her.
Yep,
Do we know
even
if the HOH is tonight?
Yeah, it should be.
Ooh, on feeds?
I hope so.
Oh boy. Okay, I have a video to edit, but
you can put it on the background, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Probably should. I should probably just edit. I gotta get to work early in the morning, but it's fine. Just watches it for
priorities.
Edit.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I guess what do we want to leave this off on?
Do you want to do a power ranking thing? You just want to end it here?
I guess we won't go through the whole cast, but I guess who's looking the best? Who's looking in the worst position?
Right. I mean, like I said, I think that Marissa is in the best position to win. Mm-hmm. She's incredibly likable. She's involved in a lot of the conversations. There is a Final Four that looks like it's the quote-unquote real Final Four, which is Shannon, Ross, James, and Marissa. There's other deals that involve Brandy and Ari, and a deal that involves Shannon, James, Ross, Mark. But I think that Marissa... She has a very good relationship with Ross, and Ross is pulling a lot of the strings right now. She's very likable, but a lot of people are aware that she's likable and are aware that she would do well in a jury vote. So that's something that could hurt her in the end. Right. I think that Ross is probably playing like the cleanest, best game right now. I don't know what you think.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a little hard. You know more than I do because of the feeds. He certainly seems to be playing the best game. But we'll see.
Yeah. I think as far as people who are in trouble, like obviously Keisha, it's like very likely that one of those two will go home.
Right.
I think that Keisha is the person that is the most in trouble. I think the most people in the big alliance are gunning for her first, especially the people like Shannon and James, who are more likely to win HOH.
Right.
So yeah, if I were to predict who is going home next, I would say Keisha.
Okay. So yeah, I think person in the best position. I'm just gonna save James for the fun of it.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. He's bad at Big Brother, but people who are bad at Big Brother, like a lot of people are comparing him to like, well, there's a lot of comparisons between like Meta and Justin, but Justin from BBOTT,
Right.
but I could see a lot of comparisons to like, just like somebody who's so bad at the game, but is like kind of stumbling in the right direction.
Right.
I don't know. You don't have to be good at Big Brother to win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to call anyone out, but yeah, that's definitely true. There have been some. And then I'd say worst position. I would say probably Omarosa, just because she's such a big target of Rox's. He has like a real fear of her. I feel, and if he is able to dictate the vote, which I feel is somewhat likely, if that giant 7-person alliance wins HOH, then Omarosa will be out second. But I have faith production will not allow that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good call too. I think that Ross does have a lot of say in what's going on, and Ross definitely is most scared of Omarosa. He heard that Omarosa was planning on trying to backdoor him. Omarosa was the one actively trying to leave him out of the women's alliance. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Whether you're live and watching right now or watching this later, we will be back Monday to talk about the next person evicted from the Celebrity Big Brother house.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
And don't be racist on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, there's already some more craziness in that, so.
I gotta try not to get too into seeing what people are saying because I do have to edit a video, but I will glance a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can just say that the main headline right now is that Randy telling everyone that Omarosa told that be happy that you and your white girl alliance has won.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Whew. And now there's a house meeting going on, so.
Oh shit.
We should jump off and jump on the feeds.
All right. Have a good night, Ben. Good night, everybody.
Good night.